The yoga instructor who says she gained 40 pounds in just 4 months to teach others about accepting their bodies, and instead wound up learning a very tough lesson herself. ABC's Rena Knighton has that story.
The celebrity bodies you can't help but covet. From Jennifer Aniston to Gwyneth Paltrow, even Sting. And it's all thanks to yoga. So why did this Texas yoga teacher intentionally pack on 40 pounds? It began when Trina Hall received a phone call from her best friend and fellow yoga teacher who was dealing with her own weight issues.
My best friend told me, crying on the phone, that she didn't want to be known as the fat yoga teacher.
That was enough to send Hall on a mission to prove being fat didn't matter.
I wanted to prove to her, as well as myself, what is life really about? Are we concerned so much with the physical, or is it something else?
So in 4 short months, Hall went from 135 pounds to 175.
I was eating a lot of Mexican food. I'm a big fan of cheese. Inhale as you come up.
But would yoga students still take classes from an overweight instructor?
I was afraid that people wouldn't take me seriously.
In a surprising twist, it was Hall who was distressed at her heft, those 40 pounds weighing on her self-esteem.
There were days that I didn't want to leave the house. One time I was crying for no reason.
Experts say it's dangerous to gain weight so quickly.
That's very, very negative on you mentally, but it's also going to be very difficult on your body's metabolism.
Hall is now getting back to her thinner, healthier self. She's gone from a size 14 to an 8.
I'm eating a lot of leafy greens and vegetables and fish.
Hall says she was surprised by some of the lessons she learned.
We just all want to be loved, regardless of our size, our shape, our beliefs. We want to feel that.
For Good Morning America, Rena Knighton, ABC News, New York.
We have been buzzing about this with our ABC Chief Health and Medical Editor, Dr. Richard Besser. And I know you've said this and others, it's never good rapid gain, weight or loss.
That's
it's never
right.
good for the body.
Yeah, I mean, you put on weight too fast, it's going to throw off your metabolism, put you at risk for diabetes. But if you lose weight too fast, in addition to losing some fat, you're going to lose lean muscle. And so 1 to 2 pounds per week is what's recommended for healthy weight loss.
And she talked about the psychological effect of gaining that extra weight.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty incredible. I mean, we are an anti-fat society, and in young children, it shows up with bullying. Mm-hmm. In adults, there's job discrimination, healthcare discrimination, problems with relationships. So I thought it was really fascinating to see how she felt differently about herself as she put on the pounds.
You said you posed a question on Twitter.
Yeah.
What was that question that you asked?
I asked people if they felt comfortable, if they would feel comfortable taking an exercise or yoga class from someone who was overweight, and it's pretty split. You know, some people who are overweight said, you know, I feel uncomfortable going into an exercise class because of my body. I would feel more comfortable if the instructor looked a little bit more like me. Yeah.
And as long as the person looked healthy.
Yeah,
yes. As long as they're healthy and they can do their job. You know, I practice yoga, and for years I would never do it because I'm not flexible. I don't feel very coordinated. And my wife got me into a class, Yoga for the Stiff Guy. It was just, yeah, it was perfect.
Where do we sign up?
It was just guys. Yeah, and so I didn't feel intimidated, and no one could do it. We were all the same, and I think having an overweight instructor is the same kind of thing.
I do want to point out, though, seeing those photos, it's not so much that she was healthy, but she also looks normal. Yes. I just think there's like a sense of normalcy that people seek there. I think it's more power to her and everybody else.
Dr. Besser.
Let's
Namaste.
Namaste.